Hey guys, welcome back, and in this video I'm going to take you to the Rex hangar, otherwise known as the underground base, and show you a little bit about the rat RNG and stuff like that. So let's take you through this. So on the way up, we're going to have Otacon calling us a bunch of times, 3 times in total. So just get ready for those select inputs. You can actually, guess when it's going to come in and actually push it just before, if you're lucky. Save yourself a few frames. Now coming into this area, what I like to do is wait until the very last second when I hear the alert to use GME. Just like that. And it allows me to know how slow I actually am for that section because I can see where the guard is on the pathway. Snake. As soon as we get out of this, we're going to equip our chaff and hope we don't get shot. But a lot of times you're going to get shot, and depending on how low your health is, you might want to use GME with a first person there to make sure that you don't get killed. Once you're past that, now we're looking at rat RNG, and at first I thought I had this all figured out, but then one day the pattern completely changed and all my notes got thrown out the window. So the best strategy is to look at God rat RNG first and hope for the best, and if it's not there, check the other one and then just stay at God rat until it shows up. So no God rat. Oh. Oh, this is the bad rat. So with that rat, we're actually going to lose quite a lot of time. That's the worst rat right there. That's a run killer. So depending on when you get in here, you can either have it spawn here, spawn over there, right underneath this sentry here. Or the third option is what you just saw, where it kind of went into the water there. You lose a lot of time waiting for it. There it is. It just spawned. Oops, wrong button. It just spawned up here. So I'm gonna go over here. Gonna shoot that, and there we go. PAL key acquired. So again, this rat can change dramatically depending on the frame that you get in here, and so there's no real way to predict it. You just gotta hope for the best, and this is probably one of the biggest run killers in the run. Now we gotta go back and we got to use the first PAL key. And again, like last time, we're going to wait to the last second to do GME. Alright, that's good timing. Here, we're going to switch to the PAL and just cut straight for the computer. It's close enough that we don't have to worry. We're going to switch back to our other card, cut up, and we're going to do GME again. But this time with the first person, so this way when we go to the ladder here, we're able to actually climb it. Otherwise, if we don't use first person view, we wouldn't be able to climb the ladder and interact with it. So again, good thing to keep in mind when doing GME is keep in mind what's ahead of you. Do you have to interact with something or not? And if you do, you have to use first person. If not, then you don't have to. So it's a matter of, each situation. So now at this point, we're going to freeze the PAL key. So coming out of this door, you're going to want to go into GME right away so you don't get shot, and you can take the fastest route through here. Once in this room, you have to stay in here for exactly 1 minute. Now, if you're using an auto splitter like the one that I've released, it's 1 minute and 1 second coming into this room, because it also adds the fade in time as well. Whereas if you were doing splits manually and you were to split after the screen fades in fully, it's exactly 60 seconds. So I'm going to watch the clock here, and at exactly 60 seconds I am going to show you that the PAL key is indeed frozen. Just because this is a tutorial and we're not worried about time. So we're coming up to time in 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. See? It's frozen. So, coming through here again, we're going to use the chaff, like I showed in our previous tutorial. And again, we're going to walk through here just like last time. Coming through here is going to be exactly the same each time, except for the PAL key room, obviously. Alright, so let's see how good our movement was. And that wasn't bad. Pretty good. Alright, again, we're going to switch to our PAL key, and we're going to go up this way, touch this computer. Again, we have more than enough time to go through there without the door screwing us. And again, we're going to cut up. And now we gotta head all the way back to the blast furnace, so it's all basically the same backwards. So again, like last time, coming through this door, we're gonna have to get ready to do GME phase 1. Got it. Now coming into this room, we're going to go down and to the left so that none of the guards will see us because they're on the other 3 paths. And again, we're back to this elevator. So if you remember my previous tutorial on cargo elevators, every time we get to this elevator, we want to do GME phase 2 to make sure that we skip our protocol cutscene. And coming out of this, we are going to check to see the RNG of the camera. If it's good RNG, the sentry should be shooting at us. If it's bad, then it won't. And that means we have to either take a chance, because you can get lucky and get the lucky RNG where it won't shoot you even though it's not shooting at the beginning, but it's a 50-50 chance. Alright, so this is where we would risk it, but I don't want to risk it because I'm so low on health that if I were to risk it, I would die from that shot. So I decided to go into GME just to prevent myself from dying. And so that's how you're gonna make that call, really. If If you have a lot of health, then maybe you can risk it. But if you don't bother risking it. Just go into GME, use your first person so that you can touch the control panel and go on up. Alright, we're coming into the blast furnace. Now, for extreme mode, we have to do something special, which is actually going to lose us time compared to other difficulties. So we're going to come over here. We're going to go into phase 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we're through. So that fade out there actually made the PAL key stop its timer. And we go through 3 times, which means it's going to take now 1 minute and 3 seconds ish, roughly, to now heat the PAL key. So if you're on lower difficulties where you don't need those boxes, then it's not worth it. And actually, you're not really losing 3 seconds, you're more losing 2 seconds or less, because it's going to take 103 versus 101. Now, I did not pay attention to the time coming in here, so let's, yeah, okay, we're good. At least I got whatever needed to be said, and that's all that matters. Because again, this is for tutorial purposes, to explain things, to give you guys a better understanding of what's going on, especially in certain situations like that where you might be not thinking about the loading in between areas, pausing the PAL key. Okay, again we're going to use GME phase 1 with a first person, but it is good RNG here, so we lost time doing that, but it's like such a fraction of a second. Like it's virtually frames. I think 18 frames, which isn't even half a second. It's 0.3 seconds. Again, we're gonna have to go phase 2 GME to skip the final codec call for this elevator. Alright, so coming into the warehouse this time from this door, the south door, we actually have to go upright into this column to skip all the guards, because they switch their positioning depending on which door you come in and out. Now hopefully I timed that correctly. Okay, we're good. And on extreme there's not going to be a box here, but on easy and normal and I think hard, that stinger box should respawn. If it does on hard, then I would recommend getting that over the stinger boxes that are in the furnace. If it doesn't, then you might need them. I'm not 100% certain until I do a hard run and double check. So don't quote me on that. But I know on easy and normal you don't need the ones in blast furnace, and on easy you shouldn't need the extra one on the walkway or the warehouse north walkway either. Okay, decent timing. Now for this one, for the red key, we actually want to go around a little bit because we can't make it here. And there we go, and that's the PAL key segment, guys. So until next time, this is VGR signing out. I will see you in the next video.